How you doing?
Yeah. In this Washington defense, what are the biggest challenges they present?
Well, they're a disciplined football team. Have great coaches. Obviously, got a lot of familiarity with them, and they got great players playing hard. The way they are able to create problems up front. Their linebackers are really good players, smart players, instinctual players, fast players. And then out wide, they're very sticky in coverage.
Seeing John make back-to-back 4 plays in back-to-back games, has that raised your level of confidence and trust in him?
It's just coming. Everything's coming in time. It comes with reps. It comes with conversation and communication. And obviously, when you're able to take advantage of those matchups and take advantage of those opportunities, you seem to find yourself in more of them.
You mentioned about the Washington defense, Bobby Wagner specifically. When you have sort of a quarterback of the defense like that who's played so long at such a high level, is that noticeable on the field when you're out there?
Yeah, there's a respect factor to that. He's done it for a very long time. He's one of the best to do it, and so competitively, that's a great advantage for him. That's something with his experience and everything that he's able to lean on. That's something that pops off.
Have you been able to watch much Jaden Daniels, and what are your thoughts on him so far?
I've always thought he's a great player, been able to win the Heisman, all the success he's had, and even until this point.
Have you, Brian Johnson, obviously he's going to be on the other side of the field. Have you kept in touch with him, and have you noticed or heard anything about his impact on Jaden?
I have kept in touch, and yeah.
Back after
I don't know about the second question.
Are they okay?
Back after the Giants game, you mentioned it's a coincidence when it happens 2 times that you guys kind of play well in a return for a player, and said the 3rd time it's a precedent. Could this be a precedent game with John playing Washington?
We'll see. We'll see.
Johnny cut his hair.
Did y'all see him in there?
No, we did not.
Nah, he didn't. Not yet.
Are you disappointed?
He's a grown man. He'll honor his word, I'm sure. I hope.
With Dan Quinn's defense, he's known for that Seattle cover 3. But is that still the basic zone that he runs, or is he doing things differently with different personnel?
Yeah, he's versatile. He has a multiple approach to how he does things, and it's always available in there. So, like the best of them, it's about adjusting and being able to do what you see fit in that moment. And that's what they've done a really good job of doing.
When it's get Jordan Mailata back Thursday night or next week against the Rams, what, if anything, has the offense missed without him?
Well, we're hoping for the best with everything, one way or another. But I just the opportunity to be pushing forward, and whenever the time comes and have everybody back together, that's always something to be excited about.
After the Jaguars game, after the throw to Devontae in the end zone, you said one of the under-talked things about were a quarterback's vision on such plays. Asked Kellen more about that earlier. Beyond just repetition with the guy, how does an offense kind of help a quarterback out in terms of vision like that?
There's repetition in what you're doing. You build a instinctual trust in what you're doing because you've repped it 1,000 times. Do you fear the man that has practiced 1,000 different kicks or the same kick 1,000 times? And that's the approach. And so there are some things out there that we all like to be better at. And you ask yourself, am I repping it enough? And so that's always a process that we all go through. That's something that I go through, and I yearn, from everybody, preparing me to, go out there and play, and and I know everybody does that at their position as well.
How do you find value in a walkthrough compared to a practice?
I'm sorry?
How do you find value in a walkthrough compared to a practice?
Same intensity. I think you got to have the approach of really maximizing every opportunity, maximizing every minute, every second. They're so precious. So whether that's pre-snap, communication, how we operate, making sure we're on the same page, hearing the communication more than once so they know what I'm saying, how we're communicating out wide, just being on the same page. You can never get enough of that. You want to tell yourself full speed to the snap. And, we get a lot of mental reps, obviously, and that's for every team when we get towards this part of the year. But you just have to be able to process it and, continue to find ways to build that confidence in what you're practicing.
From a player's perspective, these short weeks, Jalen, is it more difficult from a mental perspective or the bounce back from a physical perspective?
It varies. It feels like we haven't had a Thursday night game in a good minute now since last year was so early. And so, we've, done some things different, hopeful that that's best for us in the end.
Back to the vision, Kellen said anybody under 6'6" is going to have a hard time seeing over the offensive lines. But are there ways that you can see that Kellen, or something that you suggest to try and find ways to clear, sight lines?
What do you mean?
Whether it's shifting protection or different kind of ways to help out vision on a given play.
I'm not understanding what you're asking.
Is there ways to help you see a play better? Are there ways that you guys do that?
I think it comes down to repping it, building reps, building the comfort in certain things, and then you see a lot of people out there, they move the pocket, and I think that's for more reasons than that. You want to create a different flow for the defensive line. When you're dropping back all day, the D-line kind of get a feel on that. Edge rushers get a feel on that. So when you're able to move the pocket, switch it up, switch up how you're attacking them, that's the whole impose and attack thing from that vantage point. So how you approach it helps.
Is there anything tangible you can share where you looked at these first 9 games and said, hey, we've got good chemistry here, that you saw something happen and you said, hey, this is a great sign that chemistry is going the right way?
Yeah, I think just the diligence with everything, being able to build like we have. I don't know, there's a certain moment. I just think the constant communication and the effort in that department from all of us, and continue to learn one another and build. I'm not satisfied by any means. There's nothing to be satisfied about in my eyes because we're still growing. We're still a work in progress. It's like there's no moment we're going to arrive this year. Some may think we have. Some may think we have it figured out, but we don't. There's so much more out there for us to accomplish, and so we just want to continue to challenge ourselves to operate in the highest level we can and be efficient and know the details and the ins and outs of what we're doing, and then have some integrity about what we're doing.
Jalen, on the touchdown pass to Dallas, when you were explaining that you had to send that rusher free and it's on you to either make a play or get rid of the ball, is that decision based on route concepts, the path that he is taking to you? Is it just feel? How do you make that decision?
Yeah, so I could have thrown hot, or I could have did what I did.
Right.
The hot would have gotten probably broken up to Kenny Gainwell, so I had to make a play.
And how do you process that in the moment?
You don't want to be thinking out there.
Sure.
You want to react in a sense. You understand the gist of what you're getting. I knew my issue. It's about having it's not about being right or wrong. It's about having a plan. What would have been the right thing to do is to do that, but you make it happen.
I'm wondering on the interception, if you said about Grant, but rewatching the film, and I think Kellen said this too, you probably made the right decision still to throw it to Goddard there. Trayvon just made a good play. Do you still see it? Do you still feel like you should have gone to Grant, or do you feel like you made the right decision in going it down?
I mean, I don't know why we're still talking about this. What you,
I asked Kellen earlier about it, and because I wanted to see what he had to say about it, and I was wondering if you still felt the same way after watching the film.
well, I think he made a great play. I think it was, for me, I think I could have maybe thrown it a little sooner. And I think with the timing of how I was operating, I could have reset outside with that time, and as long as I waited. But it was either going to go to, Dallas or go to Grant out wide. And I told Grant to get some width because he had the potential of getting the ball, and I hung on it a little longer than I wanted to. Got off rhythm a little bit, and Trayvon, he made a hell of a play.
Thanks, Jalen.